mood booster.
Yeah. Maybe
Yes.
on my 2-year anniversary.
Ooh, that's Thursday.
Thursday, yes.
We should celebrate Thursday and celebrate Friday because it's then Friday.
Yes, might as well celebrate both. But in the meantime, it's Tuesday, so we're celebrating Tuesday, April 29th. It's 8 o'clock. Thanks for joining us here on ARC Rochester. I'm Abby Friedman.
And I'm Dan Schrack, and we have a packed 2 hours to get through. So let's run down what we have brewing for you this Tuesday morning.
All right, so this morning we're looking ahead to a celebration of wishes that is happening this weekend. We're going to talk more about the upcoming Make-A-Wish Gala and how it helps kids in our area.
Love that organization. And then later, we're going to be turning blue for Goodwill of the Fingerlakes. They're highlighting their social services and other programs with a week-long celebration that you can take part in. We're going to have more on how you get involved ahead.
Yeah, and then we're taking a look at some stories that have people talking this Tuesday morning, including the hypothetical question that's making the rounds on social media. That is coming up in today's Trending Now.
I want to know what the hypothetical question making rounds is. I've
Buckle
got a lot of them. Before all of that, we do want to check in with some of our top local headlines. Stephanie Joseph has your Tuesday morning news break.
Well, good morning there, guys. We begin with breaking news. A man is dead after a scooter and a car collided on a busy road in Genesee County. The crash happened just before 7 last night on Route 19 near the 490 on-ramp in Leroy. Deputies say 65-year-old Dwayne Gardner of Rochester was riding a Vespa when a car that didn't stop at a stop sign pulled out in front of him. Gardner slammed into the vehicle, was thrown from his scooter, and pinned underneath it. Despite life-saving measures by bystanders, the Leroy Fire Department, and Mercy EMS, he was pronounced dead at the scene. And overnight, Rochester police are searching for the gunman that sent a 25-year-old man to the hospital. It happened around 11 last night on Avenue C. Police say the victim was taken to RGH by private vehicle with what we're told are non-life-threatening injuries. As of this morning, though, no suspects are in custody. Anyone with information should call 911. The White House's border czar is expected in Rochester today amid growing tensions over the city's sanctuary policies. Tom Homan is set to meet with police officers after a traffic stop last month where Rochester police were accused of violating sanctuary city rules by working with federal agents. His visit comes just days after the Trump administration sued the city over its immigration policies. Homan has been outspoken defending the actions of Rochester police. The police union says Homan is expected to arrive at some point this morning, though no official timetable has been released. Several protests are planned in response to his visit today. Those start at 8:30 and will continue throughout the day. After nearly 4 weeks, lawmakers in Albany have finally agreed on an outline for the 2026 state budget. Funding for the state was originally due on April 1st, but weeks of deadlock pushed the process well past the deadline. Now, the spending plan heads to lawmakers for final approval before landing on the governor's desk to be signed into law. According to Governor Hochul, the estimated $254 billion plan does not raise income or statewide business taxes. It includes $1 billion in tax cuts for middle-class and low-income New Yorkers. Also part of the budget, expanded access to child care, inflation refund checks for more than 8 million New Yorkers, and free school lunches for all students. The governor says the budget also gives her the power necessary to make future adjustments if actions by the federal government require it. A former city employee is headed to prison after admitting to assault and grand larceny. Anthony Hall was sentenced to at least 2 years behind bars after injuring a police officer during a domestic call and stealing more than $1,000 from a local nonprofit. Hall must also pay more than $33,000 in restitution. For all these top stories and any updates, be sure to visit 13wham.com. Back to you.
All right, Stephanie, thank you. We'll switch gears now and take a look at the forecast because we are expected to hit 80 degrees today, but there is kind of a warning. It's not going to be all clear skies for the day today.
Yeah, a little bit of a hiccup. We could see some serious thunderstorms later on. Meteorologist Marty Snyder at the Weather Center right now tracking that forecast, letting us know about those showers headed our way. Marty?
Well, thanks, guys. Yeah, we are going to see things really change as we head through the day. The best part of the day is what we're seeing right now. We're getting into some sunshine, so enjoy it while it's here. But notice off to our west, you can see that activity back into portions of southwestern Ontario, lower Michigan. You see those lines that are still holding in those areas, diminishing a little bit now, but likely going through the day. We're going to see those be the focus points for any thunderstorms that do form. And as you can see, we're in one of the higher risks of thunderstorms today, where that potential is there for anything from damaging wind and heavy rain to lightning and hail. And it's all along that, especially that one focus there from central New York all the way down into the Ohio Valley. And we're going to be into some of that as we head through the afternoon and early evening as well for that peak time for that risk of thunderstorms. But temperatures today, they'll briefly be in the lower 80s for highs. We'll slide back to about 79 by 4 p.m. But again, it's that late afternoon, early evening time frame that we're going to be watching very closely. A couple of those thunderstorms may spill outside of that window of time, but I think that's when we'll have our highest risk of some of those stronger thunderstorms. So we'll keep you updated throughout the day. And of course, the 13WEM weather app, a great thing to have to stay updated on radar and what's going on in the weather throughout the day.
All right. Thank you, sir. Looking forward to at least the first half of the day.
First half's the best.
All right. Thank you.
All right, let's get to Off the Top now. Stories that have piqued our interest this morning. You know, I always pick these way too early when I'm way too tired, because then it comes time for them and I'm like, man, what did I write?
Yeah.
You ever get that?
Yeah.
All right, so have you ever heard of the Dubai chocolate bar? It's viral on social media. Oh, you've got thoughts and feelings on it.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Okay. All right. Well, if you at home haven't seen it, it's a chocolate bar, and it's filled with pistachio cream and katafi pastry. It's a delicacy that was first introduced in 2021, and the creator credits pregnancy cravings and an appreciation for the original Middle Eastern dessert. However, it took over social media in 2023. Maria Vejera posted a video showcasing its crunch and vibrant green filling, and the video gained over 80 million views, propelling that dessert into the global spotlight. More than 30,000 orders were placed quickly, basically overwhelming the company's website, so much so that the demand is actually having an impact on the economy. Pistachios are suddenly in very high demand, and the supply is ultimately becoming strained. The original bars are sold exclusively in Dubai through Fix Dessert Chocolatier's website, with sales opening up twice daily at 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. Due to the high demand, they'll often sell out in just a couple minutes. Now, there are other companies trying to make their own versions of the chocolate. For example, After's Ice Cream in Southern California introduced a pistachio-filled Dubai chocolate ice cream bar, which debuted this year at Coachella and now is available to buy at Costco. Also, Ghirardelli, that chocolate brand, offered a special Dubai chocolate sundae for one day at its location inside the Empire State Building. It had vanilla ice cream, pistachio butter, toasted shredded phyllo, and an edible 24-karat gold leaf. Retailers are placing purchasing limits now on these chocolate bars and on the ingredients to make them because of the shortages. It's not just impacting the nut industry, but people all around the world are feeling this. The price of pistachios has gone up approximately $7.65 to now $10.30 per pound within a year. The bars are made in small batches. They use very high quality ingredients like chocolate and Middle Eastern components like that katafi pastry. One U.S. retailer has a 7-ounce bar listed for $20. No word on if or when those prices will start to go down, but people on social media are pretty upset about this.
About what aspect of it?
That they're costing so much right now. I want to know why you have beef with the chocolate.
Okay, so it's not just the chocolate.
Okay.
I have beef with the fact that it's viral. Because if everything's viral, people, nothing is viral.
Okay.
Come on. 80 million views, yes, I'll give you that. That was big. And, like, I can't get behind these people who post their review, and because their review blows up, they are now the, spokesperson for whatever the donuts from this one,
Okay.
and now you've got a line around the block for
Well-
the special for the cronut and the Dubai chocolate.
Well, don't say
and
anything bad about the cronut.
The Haley Bieber smoothie
All right.
and the $19 strawberry.
Okay.
What are we doing?
Can I go? Because it's my turn to talk.
You asked.
No, I know. But listen, I think it's great for that small business owner.
Sure.
Right? How wonderful is that her
Yeah.
business was able to take off? And I mean, she's slammed with orders right now. I think it's a little, it raises my eyebrows that like Ghirardelli and some of those other big name companies have kind of swooped in and said, oh, we're going to put our own spin on it.
Mm-hmm.
To that, I say, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But to that small business owner who just so happened to take off on social media, that's no fault of hers. You know, I think that
No, not at all.
Okay.
Listen, to her, I say more props to you.
Okay.
I'd keep milking that cow.
Yeah, I would.
You know?
Yeah.
Absolutely. My issue is with the people who just fall in line.
So you wouldn't try it?
I not for $20. No. Okay. I'm not.
All right.
Not unless producer Ashley orders it without me knowing and just sends me the receipt and says, hey, give me my money back. You guys are eating this on air.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. That's how I feel about it. How do you feel about it?
No, I already said how I felt. I think it's great for the small business.
Sure.
I think that the bigger businesses that are coming in and, you know, selling them at Costco, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's not, at least in my opinion, like the proper nod to the origin from which it came.
Sure.
You know,
I'm on board
you're
with
gonna
that.
Sell it in mass quantities
Yeah.
now. I don't know. I think that that's a little ridiculous. And a lot of care goes into making those individual chocolate bars.
Absolutely.
They're like hand painted. They've got crazy designs on them. They're not like cranked out at some
Mass produced.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
On board with that.
I think
we're on the same page here.
I think so too.
I'm just grumpy and yelling about it.
Yeah, that's all right.
All right, so we'll move along to my story now. I'm going to start with a story that honestly made me a little laugh a little, but then you had to shake your head when you read it. A 27-year-old student living in Japan had to be rescued off of Mount Fuji, not once, but twice, and in the same week. And not for some heroic reason either. So the first time he was climbing nearly 10,000 feet up, you're looking at Mount Fuji here, he lost his gear, got sick from the altitude, and had to be airlifted off of the mountain.
Yikes.
Now, if that happened to me, I'd take it as a sign and say, I'm good. Like,
Not gonna climb anymore.
no, I'm done. But 4 days later, he went back. And you want to know why? Because he left his phone. Needed to find that phone. And this time, you guessed it, he got stuck again. He had to be rescued yet again and ended up in the hospital for altitude sickness. Now, if you've ever been to Mount Fuji or seen it, it isn't a gentle little mountain. It's nearly 12,400 feet high. It's actually an active volcano, and most of the year it's covered in snow and ice. Officially, you're only supposed to be climbing it from July to early September. Any other time, you're basically on your own because there are no rescue teams on standby. So this guy got really lucky 2 times. 2 times. This summer, Japan is actually starting to charge a fee of about $28 to hike the 4 main trails because so many people have been flooding the mountain. Here's another fun fact about Mount Fuji, though. During peak season, those months, July to September, about 300,000 people climb that mountain. It's a whole lot of people and a lot of opportunities to lose your cell phone. Honestly, this whole story is kind of a reminder. Some things, like your life, are just worth more than your contact list. If you get rescued once, maybe just let the phone go. Buy a new one and have a great story. Don't go back for it.
I can't imagine, first of all, having the time. Second of all, having the energy to go back.
So,
right?
As the story goes, the second time he got rescued, the rescuers thought it was his first time. They were unaware until they got him to the hospital and were like, Jim? Is that Jim from 4 days ago? Is this you again? No. That's when they realized this was his second time in 4 days being rescued from Mount Fuji.
If you were the one doing the rescuing, wouldn't you be like, man, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
And there's no word that he got his phone back. But listen, if I was doing the rescuing, I would have taken that phone and I'd have thrown it from that mountain and said, bud,
Is
No,
he
you don't
doing
deserve it.
okay from his altitude
Yeah,
sickness?
he's-
Is he fine?
he's gonna be
okay.
fine.
All right. Well, he's a student.
Yep.
If you were his parents, wouldn't you just right upside the head?
I would be embarrassed. And yeah, I would be embarrassed. And I'd say, I'm not paying for your college education anymore.
Yeah.
I'm in that kind of mood. Talk to me tomorrow. I might re-enroll you. Hey, stick around. We've got a lot more to come right here on ARC Rochester, including when we come back, we're checking in with Chris Lopez, who's in the kitchen this morning.
Don't forget, take us on the go wherever you are. Stream us live right now on the 13 Wham YouTube channel. We're back after this.
Rochester, we all know, has a vibrant food scene with many different types of cuisine, from African to Irish, you name it, we've got it.
Yeah, recently a restaurant opened that serves up Pakistani food and can be added to that list. It is called Halal Rooster.
Chris Lopez is there for us this morning, checking out the menu. Good morning, Chris.
Hey guys, yes, we are here at Halal Rooster this bright and early morning. It's beautiful outside, and what else is beautiful is what my friend Bilal is cooking up here in the kitchen. I want to go to you. This is what plate are we making up this morning?
So now we are going to do the chicken tikka over rice. That is our very famous stuff.
The chicken tikka?
Chicken tikka over rice.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So I'm going to assemble the plate. So these are our yellow rice that I'm going.
Is that the turmeric rice again?
Yeah.
What kind of rice is that? Which kind of grain?
Like turmeric rice, and then we add some like natural spices in it.
Okay.
Some like oil to cook them, and some water, and that's how they came out. They are like, they look very simple, but when you eat them, they are like very flavorful. So like we have some customers, they only order the plain rice. And yeah, because they taste really good. They look simple, but when you try them, they are very flavorful. So
Yeah.
that's why people just order plain rice.
Yeah, when I tried the last dish, the rice really
Yes.
made up with the meat and everything
Yes,
like that.
Yeah, so when you try with the meat and the sauce combination and the salad, so
Okay.
it give you like a flavor you never have it before. So
Okay.
now we are going to put some salad. So we have like salad bar right here. You have any choice for the
So
salad?
is this like a build your own plate right here? If you were to go to
yes,
okay.
yeah. So I have lettuce. That's normally we do. That's normally we do with all that rice platter, but sometimes customer have their own choice for the salad.
Yeah.
So we have red onion. I add some.
Love red onion.
Yep. And then we have like some tomatoes. We do some tomatoes, and then we have some olives that I can build here. And if someone like cucumbers, so
Cucumbers add the zest, add the freshness. I love cucumbers.
So look how nice that plate look like with
Yep.
cucumber red, like something with onion and this. So now we are going to add the protein.
Okay.
So this is our chicken tikka protein that we will transfer here.
And this is different from the last one that I tried. This one's a little less red.
It's totally different. The flavor is different. Everything is different. So the chicken is same, but the marinations we have in this, it's like totally different. So
Okay.
this is like, you can say Pakistani style chicken over rice.
Okay.
So the one we had before was mild. These are like spicy and flavorful.
Okay.
So now we are going to add some sauce. That's our very famous white sauce.
And I want spicy too, Bilal.
Yeah, so you want spicy, we can add some like hot sauce.
I'm gonna get into what's in these sauces in the next hit.
Yeah, there's like a lot of things. So yeah, so if you want to add this, we can add some.
All right,
So
let's
now-
head to the front. Let's grub on this over here. All right. People can come in here, they can sit down and eat
Yep,
this,
they
right?
can
This is
sit
not a
down.
grab and
Yep,
go.
Yep, you can try that.
Okay.
That's our chicken tikka over rice.
Okay. This is a lot, man. These
Yeah.
portions are a lot. Okay. That's class A, my friend.
thank you.
The spice is there, but it really doesn't overtake the dish at all. It just gives you, like my mom says, just a tad bit of that kick. Then you have the vegetables in here. If it does get a little too hot, those vegetables are there pretty much to cool you down a
Yes.
little bit. Wash it down with some water. That you guys also have drinks here.
Yep.
Guys, check this place out. What's your hours?
Our regular hours are 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday to Saturday, and on Sunday we are open 12 to 9.
I love it. Check this dish out here. What's this called again? The chicken tikka?
This is chicken tikka over rice.
Okay.
Yep.
Guys, we're going to be here for one more hit. Stay tuned on Arc Rochester. Back to you.
Right on,
good.
Christopher.
Yeah.
We are hungry. We need food now. This show would be a lot nicer if it were catered.
It really would. It would.
I don't
Can you
know who we have
imagine
to talk
just like
to.
a buffet in front of us.
Yeah. Oh, get Wegmans out here every day. Chef Jeff.
Chef Jeff.
We need Chef Jeff back
What a
here.
guy.
Hey, stick around. When we come back, we're getting a check of today's stormy conditions as well as weather trivia.
We're back after this.
Flying in. Coming in hot.
He is. Mark McLean back with us this morning. We're talking about the potential for some severe weather this afternoon.
Yeah.
But we're also talking about weather trivia because we got to have a little fun.
Well, the nice part about weather trivia is that you can kind of tie it in, right? It can be about
That's
severe
true.
weather, and today's is. It actually asks about lightning.
Oh, okay.
So this is an interesting thing.
How many lightning strikts are there globally?
Okay, did we talk about that on
We
the last
did.
one? We did,
Well,
right?
So
we
is that
talked
what this
about,
question
we
It was
talked
8
about
million.
thunder.
8 million a day, right?
Yeah.
On planet Earth.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that was one last week. But our weather trivia question today, it does relate to lightning. And how hot can the atmosphere around a lightning bolt get?
Ooh.
So this is really
that's
interesting,
fun.
right? And your selections are, is it 150,000 degrees? Is it 50,000 degrees? And this is in Fahrenheit, of course. 10,000 degrees, or is it 1,000 degrees?
See, I only know it in Kelvin.
Okay.
Can you give me the conversion?
K is equal to C plus 273 will get you to Celsius, and then C is equal to 5 divided by 9 times the Fahrenheit temperature minus 32 in parentheses.
Boom.
I don't teach this.
You're so smart. That was freaky.
Anyway, which one? We'll have the answer at 9.
Yeah.
Which one do you think?
Listen.
Any thoughts? Any early thoughts on this?
No.
It is a pure guess, isn't it? But it's
Yeah.
kind of cool to know.
It
this
is
stuff.
a total guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so the atmosphere around a lightning bolt.
Yeah. So this would be like the air immediately around
Oh, okay.
the lightning channel itself.
So how hot can a lightning bolt get?
Well, if
it strikes-
ideally that would be the temperature of the air right next to it. So that would be like
Oh, so
that
they
would be
would
the
be-
gauge of it.
Oh,
yes.
okay,
Okay,
okay.
so
Yeah.
we know that if a lightning bolt strikes Sandy Beach, it can create glass.
Fulgurites.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So it fuses sand and
I
turns
know
it
that
into
from
glass.
the movie Sweet Home Alabama.
And it can have the
Reese
same
Witherspoon.
effect on asphalt. If it hits asphalt, it can have that same effect.
Wait, can I see the options one more time?
Yeah, they're still up there. Go ahead. 150, 50, 10, or 1,000.
Okay, I think I know.
All right, we're going to have that answer
I
coming up.
think
You like those transitions?
That's
that
good.
was a fun transition.
That was, right? Okay.
These poor people, whoever lives in this house, though, it is.
Yeah, I don't know who the brave one is in that house because that's like that's
down.
flash bang lightning.
Yeah.
You know, when the sound comes with the light, that's close. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that looks like end of day stuff right there.
So this is watch versus warning, right? So we really haven't had a lot of severe weather lately. And, what's the difference? You get these push alerts on your cell phone and all this stuff starts popping up. What the heck is it? Watch means you should be prepared for conditions. The possibility of severe development is there. We do not have that in place right now. And a warning means that it is imminent or occurring, a severe thunderstorm. So the warning, you're always watching for the warning. Okay, because when you have a warning, that means it's pretty much happening. It just depends on your location, your zip code as to, where you are are you in direct path of that or what's coming your way. But at least it's a nice quiet start. It's almost summer air out there with high pressure and control. That front back to the west, that'll be the trigger for some of these storms later this afternoon. And it always comes in 2 waves. That first wave right there, mid to late afternoon, that's a prefrontal trough in weather. And that's something that's out ahead of the cold front that usually has a little bit more action with it than the actual front itself. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you go back, explain the high pressure thing to me?
The high pressure?
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to go back to this guy?
Yeah.
Okay, so with high pressure, the air sinks.
Okay.
Okay, so you have to have rising motion in the atmosphere for cloud development and the development of precipitation because the warm, moist air has to be chilled and cooled as it goes up so that you can get clouds and condensation and precipitation development.
Okay, so if we have this area of high pressure,
Yeah.
how come we're going to? Is because this is another front moving in.
Yeah, so think of it like it's a boundary, right? And
Got
the
it.
air behind it is cold. Cold air is already on the ground. Okay,
Yep.
so the air to the west of that blue line is already on the ground and advancing, and cold air moves roughly about 2.5 times faster than warm air in weather. So the warm air, it's up here already, and what happens? The cold air comes in underneath it, cuts in underneath it, and like a wedge forces it to rise up.
Got it.
Yeah, that's how-
Okay.
so-
So will there be some temperature inversion then?
The temperature inversion would be more likely with a warm front if we had a warm front because the warm air has to overrun the cold air and go up on top of it to kind of push it. It'd be like running up
That
Pine-
cold isn't coming in underneath and pushing that that warm up at all?
The cold air does when it comes in, but it's the opposite picture. It's overrunning when the warm air does it.
Got it.
Ashley, we're going to need 1 extra minute.
Yeah,
okay?
I'm sorry, Ashley.
Just 1 extra minute.
Taking science class out here.
Yeah, let's float something.
Yeah, it's all right. But
Nope.
let's go back to that image there, and you can see that second line go through. That was the actual cold front. So you never say never in weather. And I know that's a funny way of saying it, but you see tornado up at the top. It's a very low risk. Okay, for most spots, that's just not going to happen. Most likely would be some gusty wind, some localized hail, some frequent cloud to ground lightning, and flooding too is a very low. This stuff is moving. Okay, it's not training. So that's another good thing that works for us. But if we do get rain amounts up to an inch, it may be south of Rochester into the Finger Lakes. We'll have to watch that. Some of the latest data suggesting that. But for the time being, get the walk in, get the run in today. The weather this morning is fantastic. A little breezy there out of the southwest. We have 64, and the forecast today has us into the low 80s before those storms start to knock that temperature back around 4 o'clock. So the 7-day forecast, it dries out tomorrow, but it also gets much cooler. 56 will be 66 on Thursday. Some late day showers could linger into Friday, but kind of shaping up again next week. Looks like we got a pretty good warm up in store for next week too.
When does this all move out today?
I think it's done by 8, 9 o'clock. Maybe even sooner than that if you're watching from west of Rochester. This stuff is in a hurry to get out of here. So,
nice.
So it's not going to linger. It's not going to be one of those all-nighters, keeping you up all night, thunder.
I sleep well in that stuff.
Rain I do, but not the thunder.
Oh, no.
Are you scared?
It's like a whistle for a meteorologist, right? I mean, it's like you're up, and then I have to get to the computer. I have to see what's going on. I got to start checking pictures and
Mrs.
storm
McLean
reports.
says, honey, it's okay. Calm down. Just breathe.
It's not great. It's not great.
Thunder vest.
It's like anxiety turned to 11. A thunder vest.
A thunder vest.
My dog growing up had one. I have one in my garage.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Hey, look at this.
Oh, new pick.
New pick.
Oh, is that
Ashley said-
Charlotte? Irondequoit Bay?
Where'd we get this one?
What's the guy doing on the doing on the other side of the walkway here?
Causing trouble.
We're doing somersaults into Lake Ontario. What are we doing?
not
there?
100%.
Ooh, I wouldn't.
I'm thinking, you know
clipping
what that
toenails?
is? We snapped this photo mid him dropping his cell phone and going to grab it.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, let me get that.
Gonna need a rescue.
Yeah, 2 rescues.
2. Yeah.
Thank you, Ashley.
All
We
right.
appreciate that. Hey, don't go anywhere. When we come back, a lot more to come here on ARC.
Yeah, we're back after this.
Thanks so much for sticking with us now at 8:35. We want to take a look ahead to an upcoming event happening this weekend that's making wishes come true.
Yeah, Make-A-Wish of Western New York is hosting their annual gala filled with powerful stories, dancing, and a live auction. And the best part, it's all to raise money for the amazing work they do.
And they really do incredible work. For more now on that gala and how you at home can take part, we are joined by the Regional Development Director from Make-A-Wish, Donna Oria, and the gala's honorary chair, Greg Connors, a partner at Connors and Ferris. Thank you both so much for waking up with us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
So let's dive right in. I mean, it sounds like it's an absolute blast. And again, Donna, all for such an incredible cause. For someone who's sitting at home who says, okay, I've heard of Make-A-Wish in the past, remind them of some of the incredible work you guys do.
We are serving kids right here locally in the greater Rochester region, and it's actually the Rochester Gala that we're doing. All funds will support Wishes. Wishes are for kids 2.5 to 18 years old that are faced with a life-threatening illness.
Now, we hear about some of the wishes, and, you know, I think probably the most common one is like Disney World, right? But tell us about some of the other wishes that people have asked for, kids have asked for.
Kids can imagine anything they desire, and we'll make it happen. Lots of backyard play sets so they can play with their siblings, swimming pools, meeting someone famous, trips to Hawaii, anything they can imagine, room makeovers.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you guys make it all happen, and it's incredible. Greg, how did you get involved? How did you end up as the honorary chair?
So Tom, my business partner, and I, 25 years ago when we started the office, wanted to get back to the community. And so in those, navigating all that path, we got to know about the Make-A-Wish Foundation. My girlfriend Jennifer works with Make-A-Wish. She's a wish granter. And she was telling me these tremendous stories about and the kids and their families and how they responded and just how it transformed their lives. And I was like, this is something we really should look into and get more involved with. And the more you get involved, the more you see these stories, just the more intoxicating it becomes in terms of giving back to the community. And the money that we raise here for the gala stays here in Rochester, stays in this community to help these kids. And so it's like, no better match.
I believe it. And, tell us about what it feels like to see the smiles on the kids' faces once they get that playground or they get to meet the celebrity that they've been wanting to meet or, anything.
In that moment in time when a child receives a wish, they're a kid again, when they're in the middle of a very difficult medical journey. And that, to me, was what changed how I felt about Make-A-Wish when I saw a child receive a wish. It was just beautiful. It was a profound impact on me.
I have to imagine that relief that they get to experience, although momentary, is something truly incredible for their family to witness as well.
Yes, because they're affected. The siblings are affected. The parents obviously are going through so much. We just sent a family of 13 to Disney World because they needed all of their nurses to go with them. We just make it happen for the kids.
And when you see the interaction of the family when the child receives their wish, when they give them their packet of information, I was able to witness it, and it really changed my life. It really was like, this is something I want to get back to. This is something I really want to invest in, because the impact it has, not just with the child, but their siblings and their parents and their grandparents. And when I saw everyone was crying and hugging and she was jumping up and down, it was just like this, whatever she was going through before that, it had all gone away. And she was able to escape that for that moment. And that was really kind of what really touched my heart and said, if I can help a child and a family have that, then we'll do whatever we can to help out.
And people at home have the opportunity to help out too. Tell us a little bit about the gala. Can people still go? Can people buy tickets? How can they donate and help out?
They can still donate. We are totally sold out for the first time. It's going to be a record year.
That's great.
We are so honored to have Greg as a partner with us as the honorary chair. But people can still donate. We have the website that they can go to and make a gift because, like I said, all money stays local. We have 120 kids waiting for wishes as of today. That's a lot of kids waiting, and we grant on average 50 wishes a year.
And I'm sure if somebody sitting at home is kind enough and generous enough to open their wallet and make that donation, you will make sure they're made well aware in advance to next year's gala so they can get a ticket and attend that one.
May 2nd, 2026.
Already on the books. Mark your calendars, folks. Thank you both so much for waking up bright and early. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Time right now is 8:40. Much more to come on ARC Rochester. When we come back, we're going to check in once again with Chris Lopez, who's trying some new cuisine this Tuesday morning.
Stick around. Hey, and if you're headed for the door, don't forget you can take us with you. Abigail, did you know we're back on YouTube?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, we're streaming live right now on the 13 Wham YouTube channel. ARC Rochester returns on the other side of the break.
Rochester has so many different kinds of food. Italian, Chinese, you name it, we have it.
We do. Chris Lopez wanted to visit a recently opened Pakistani restaurant called Halal Rooster bright and early this morning. So he called ahead, made a reservation, and walked in the door.
Yeah, guys, so all morning long, we have been here at Halal Rooster trying the different kinds of food off the menu. Now, Bilal, who's the owner here at Halal Rooster, has promised me a gigantic burger. So we are going to end the show with that. I am very interested to see how big exactly this burger is because he was showing me some pictures and I'm a little bit intimidated. He said to save my appetite, which is not what I've been doing throughout the morning. Here we are, the man himself making the burger. Now, let's talk about the inspiration for this burger here.
So this is our signature burger.
Okay.
And why it's signature? Because we use freshly ground beef, and the marination I use inside, they are very simple, but when you try them with our own created sauce, it gives you like very good flavor.
The created sauce, when you say your created sauce, you don't have to give in any secrets, but you can if you want to. How do you create that sauce?
So it's like a different ideas and different like mindset. So my mentor is my mother.
Okay.
So all that spices things, how to play with the spices, how to use the simple things and make the things very flavorful. So I learned everything from my mom. So I use all that ideas came from my mom, and I use in that sauce. It looks simple. I have two kind of sauce that I use in the burgers. They look simple, but when we try them with like the burger and all that, gives you very good flavor.
All right, so let's plate this bad boy here.
So here I have the base of the burger, and here is our freshly ground beef with some cheese patties and some caramelized onion. I'm going to put this here, and then I will
That looks
add
beautiful.
one of our sauce.
I'm not too intimidated anymore. This is like a nice quarter pounder with cheese,
Yeah.
double quarter pounder.
And then I will add some lettuce, this tomatoes.
And is this served in Pakistan, a hamburger?
Yeah,
it is.
It has different name, like with the cultural thing, but we do the same thing there.
Okay.
So idea is coming from there, but yeah, here we change the name. So I add jalapenos. You want to make it more spicier?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we can add some pickles.
Add the zest with the pickles there.
So now the last thing is our sesame broche bun, and here is the other sauce.
The homemade sauce right
Yep,
there.
that's all our own created sauce, and we add this sauce here, and we make more room because some fries are coming. So here I make some crispy fries that will goes here, and now we'll add some sauce at the top.
Is this a different sauce from the sauce you put in the hamburger?
Yeah, so I use both sauce into that burger, but when we only using the fries, I use that sauce that is like different in flavors. So here is our signature burger plate.
Let's go over here. Let's try this in the front over here, shall we? And I love that you were talking about, look, I use simple ingredients. I use simple spices, salt, pepper, turmeric, like everyone else.
Yep.
But what you were talking about is the technique that you
Yes.
use.
Yes.
And I want to, let's test out how good this French fry. I love the zest of the French fries. Very crispy. And the burger. You said I essentially have to unhinge my jaw.
Yes, you.
All right.
So you have to be. Yeah, look at that.
Okay. Let's try this. Check this place out. They're on Dewey Ave. What time are you open?
We open Monday to Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, 12 to 9 p.m.
Signature burger grab it. Let's see how bad it is.
Thank you.
Signature indeed. Check this place out here on Dewey Ave. Real small place, so you may miss it, but type it in the good old Apple machine, the Google machine. Get this burger here, French fries, a drink. Check out Bilal. Very nice to talk to. Thank you for our guide all morning. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, guys.
Abby, what did you think of that hamburger?
It looks so good. I'm gonna cry.
You're
So
drooling over there.
Yeah.
I know. You said it looked like a cartoon hamburger.
Yeah,
It does.
it did.
It does. It was stacked this high. It did look good. Hey, stick around. When we come back, we are taking you behind the story.
We're back after this.
8:50 this morning, we're taking you behind the story now here on ARC Rochester as the White House border czar, Tom Homan, is expected to arrive in Rochester today.
Yeah, this all comes after that traffic stop last month where Rochester police were accused of violating sanctuary city rules by working with federal agents.
I believe now we're going to give you a live look of the Rochester Police Locust Club. That is where the meeting today is set to occur. Tom Homan, again, the border czar, expected to arrive there and meet with members of the Rochester Police Department that were involved in that incident, as Abigail mentioned, that happened earlier. It was a traffic stop, happened March 24th on Whitney Street. Now, how this played out, RPD officers assisted in removing and handcuffing 3 individuals from a van at the request of Immigration Services.
Yeah, this was all captured on body cam video. You can see the Rochester police officer and Border Patrol agents putting handcuffs on the individuals. This is a look here at some of that body cam video. And according to Rochester Mayor Malik Evans and the police chief David Smith, officers violated that city policy prohibiting their involvement in immigration activities once they assisted those federal agents, and ultimately handcuffing those individuals is what got them in trouble in the first place.
Yeah, that's all because Rochester is, of course, a sanctuary city, which means the Rochester Police Department does not assist or facilitate in anything like this. And the police department, police chief Dave Smith, said that this was a violation of some of the guidance given to RPD officers. One thing I do want to point out here, you do notice barricades lining the streets there all around the Rochester Police Locust Club. That is not something that is typically set up. This, I imagine, all in anticipation of any potential protests. We do know there are several organizations expected to be outside of the Locust Club, outside of City Hall, on overpasses across the region, all demonstrating and protesting this visit here, again, by border czar Tom Homan later today.
Yeah, and just a reminder, the Trump administration filed a lawsuit against the city of Rochester on Thursday over these sanctuary policies. In that press conference yesterday, of course, we heard quite a bit from Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt and Tom Homan regarding the sanctuary cities and Rochester specifically while they were preparing him for his arrival in Rochester today. Right now, no exact word on when he'll be coming to the area, but we were told it would be sometime this morning as he prepares to meet with those members of the Rochester Police Department.
Yeah, we also know that there are no, at this hour, there are no meetings planned that the media has been made aware of or that have been publicized between Tom Homan, the border czar, and any city officials or representatives for the area or any local lawmakers regarding this incident. We do know that the Locust Club president, of course, will be inside that building today. It's not clear right now whether news outlets will be allowed in that building to hear those talks. But again, this is something we have been following for quite some time, gaining national attention, gaining national news. The president speaking out about this incident. Tom Homan saying what the Rochester Police Department did was absolutely correct, or what these officers, rather, did in facilitating and assisting these federal agents was absolutely correct. But again, there is another large group that says absolutely not in a sanctuary city.
Yeah, definitely will be interesting to see what plays out today. And like you said, there are protests scheduled that folks will be holding throughout the day in a variety of different places. We'll keep you posted on Tom Homan's visit and any other developments that come from his meeting today.
Yeah, we'll have the latest for you, of course, on 13WHAM News at midday, 5, 6, 10, and 11, and 13wham.com.
Much more to get to here on ARC Rochester.
We're back right after this.
Much more to get to here on ARC Rochester as we continue into the 9 o'clock hour. Steph will be here breaking down some of our top political headlines.
She will. She's over at the live desk now with a preview of what we can expect at 9. Hey, Steph.
Hey there, guys. In today's Political Pulse, we're taking a closer look at what's part of the state budget. Governor Hochul now says a general agreement has been reached. What happens next? And more on Border Czar Tom Homan's visit to Rochester today. Hear what he says motivated the trip. Plus, a look back at President Trump's second term so far as the nation marks 100 days since he took office. That's all coming up in our 9 o'clock hour. ARC Rochester returns right after this.
Joining us here on ARC Rochester, I'm Abby Fridman.
I'm Dan Schrack. That is meteorologist Mark McLean. We'll get a check of his forecast in just a few minutes, but first we want to turn to Stephanie Joseph for your ARC Rochester news break.
Here are some of the top local stories that we're following this Tuesday. Breaking news, a man is dead after a scooter and a car collided on a busy road in Genesee County. The crash happened just before 7 last night on Route 19 near the 490 on-ramp in Leroy. Deputies say 65-year-old Dwayne Gardner of Rochester was riding a Vespa when a car that didn't stop at a stop sign pulled out in front of him. Gardner slammed into the vehicle, was thrown from his scooter, and pinned underneath it. Despite life-saving measures by bystanders, the Leroy Fire Department, and Mercy EMS, he was pronounced dead at the scene. And overnight, Rochester police are searching for the gunman that sent a 25-year-old man to the hospital. It happened around 11 last night on Avenue C. Police say the victim was taken to RGH by private vehicle with what we're told are non-life-threatening injuries. As of this morning, no suspects are in custody. Anyone with information should call 911. National Grid customers in New York could soon see higher utility bills. The company has proposed new electricity and gas rates for upstate customers, with increases phased in over 3 years. The spokesman says uncertainty around tariffs and the economy is driving the request. Under the plan, monthly bills could rise by about $50 by 2028. National Grid says the money is also needed to prepare for severe weather, pointing to 24 storms last winter that affected more than 15,000 customers. National Grid's proposal for rate hikes is currently being evaluated by the state's Public Service Commission. A former city employee is headed to prison after admitting to assault and grand larceny. Anthony Hall was sentenced to at least 2 years behind bars after injuring a police officer during a domestic call and stealing more than $1,000 from a local nonprofit. Hall must also pay more than $33,000 in restitution. 2 people are facing a laundry list of charges this morning, accused in a months-long crime spree across western New York. State police announced the arrests of 39-year-old Michael Tamaka of Buffalo and 27-year-old Cody Canterbury of Derby. Investigators say the pair hit more than 15 locations since January, including car washes, storage facilities, auto shops, and churches in Niagara, Erie, Chautauqua, and Orleans counties. The pair are facing nearly 40 charges in total. For all these top stories and any updates, be sure to visit 13wham.com. Back to you.
All right, Steph, thanks. We're going to get a check of the forecast now. Summer-like temperatures out there, Mark, but also some storms that we need to be aware of.
Yeah, every storm that forms needs heat and moisture. We're going to have both of those this afternoon, so lots of changes. And as is typical this time of the year, we get these big spring swings from one day to the next. So we start off with a look and answer of the trivia that we had this morning, and it was asking last hour about how hot the air can get around a lightning bolt. And here was the choices: 150,000 degrees, 50,000 degrees. Was it 10,000 or was it 1,000?
We've got options, or answers rather.
We do.
We do.
We do. Let's see. Just in relation, I'll tell you this: the surface of the sun is about 10,000 degrees. Okay, so if that could be a useful hint for you, right? Joshua, Julie say B. Mary has A. Julie D. Wayne's got B. Okay, so those are always up on Facebook. We post those in the morning. Let's see. What do you say?
I'm going to go with D.
D of 1,000 degrees. So 1/10 the temperature of the surface of the sun.
Listen, I'm going to, because it's a flash,
Yeah.
I'm going to go it's hotter than the surface of the sun.
Okay, how much?
I know, listen, I know this is crazy. I'm going to go 150.
All right, the answer is B, 50,000.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
so it's about 5 times hotter. It can be up to 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun. So for lightning safety, the most important thing you can do, first of all, get inside, okay, and get away from tall objects, metal objects, that kind of thing. And if you can't get inside, lay down flat on the ground during a storm, but always wear shoes. If you know you're going to be in a storm and there's nothing you can do about it, get rubber-soled shoes, because if you get hit, most of the lightning will channel around you and not channel through you.
So I should move my tap dance practice indoors today.
Yeah, put the tappers in the closet. Keep them in there.
Okay.
Okay. Let's. Oh yeah. Hang on. I got to show you this too.
Oh yeah.
Let me go back. The little line on the bottom there. Okay, we got the answer. There we go. 50,000. And the bottom line: the Empire State Building gets hit about 25 times a year, and the United States averages 40 million lightning strikes annually. How about that?
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So even with that number, about 20 people a year, sadly, get killed by lightning.
Wow.
So, something to just keep in mind. Oh, let's change the subject completely. Money
Who
talk
is
today.
this?
Milo and Charlie.
Oh, my gosh.
We asked for
Look
picks yesterday.
at
I think we
them.
have 2 months worth of doggy
But
picks.
that doesn't
It's gonna be
mean
great.
stop sending them.
No,
we
keep
still
sending
want more.
We are going to get as many of these on the air as we can. So obviously late this afternoon, this evening, it'll be wet pause. Tomorrow dries out. I think most of Thursday is going to end up dry, although that chance of rain is there. Probably a little bit better chance on Friday of seeing some showers in the weekend forecast. No muddy pause there for Saturday, looking pretty good. No muddy pause this morning either, right? High pressure is over us. That keeps the atmosphere pretty quiet. But again, back to the west, there is a cold front, and that's going to give us a chance of seeing some of these showers and thunder showers developing this afternoon. So anytime between 2 and 4, that prefrontal trough comes through, could get some gusty thunderstorms in there. We'll have to see if this has a severe potential to it. I think that's a potential, but in an area-wide basis, may not happen that way. Futurecast shows that cold front going through about 8, 9 o'clock tonight and getting out of the picture. So any of these storms that do develop today could have damaging wind gusts over 50, 60 miles per hour, some heavy rain, some lightning, and also some hail. And I will also mention that there's the isolated chance of a brief spin-up tornado too, but for most areas that is not going to be the case. 69 now. The southwest breeze, a little gusty at 20, so it's already close to 70. That dew point temperature is up 5 degrees from last hour, so that's the atmospheric moisture content increasing here across town. Temps get into the low 80s before we drop back with that summer air, some afternoon and evening storms, and hard to believe we're going to go from the 80s. Look at that low temperature tonight.
Yeah.
See that?
That's
Yikes.
wild.
Is that
wild?
We're flipping the number around literally, 83 to 38 overnight tonight. Cooler. On Wednesday, we'll get some sunshine back, but also a blustery day as that west-northwest wind carries in that cool air. Some late-day showers a possibility on Thursday. I think most of Thursday will be dry for us, passing showers Friday. The weekend forecast is looking pretty good. A little cool on Saturday, mid-50s, near 60, seasonable Sunday, and warmer yet into Monday. It looks like we're going to go back into the 70s and possibly near 80 again. Heading through the middle of next week, another decent warm-up on the way.
We like
We just
that.
have to get these warm-ups timed out to the weekend.
Yeah.
Right? It seems like it's always Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're hitting
Yeah.
these temperatures. So if we could line it up with a weekend. it'd be
Even
nice.
if it hit on just a Friday, that would be nice because then, you after work, you go and sit on the patio.
Yep.
Make some
Get the deck ready to
margs.
go.
Yeah.
Yep. It's that time
Like
of the
it.
year.
Look at
time of the
that.
year.
That time of the year. 51
Boats in the water.
days
Oh.
to go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I know. Oh,
Nothing
man.
wrong with it.
Looking
Nope.
for it. Do you have a boat, McLean?
I do. I haven't had it out in since children.
Where is it?
It's at the farm in Batavia.
It is.
Yeah.
But like specifically where? And is
Yeah.
it locked up?
Yeah.
Curious.
No, it's definitely not locked up.
No?
No.
Is it seaworthy?
Oh, very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Abby,
Take a little trip.
I say we get an address.
I think I could figure it out.
And then we have, look at that, Arc Rochester on the water.
You know what BOAT stands for? BOAT, break out another 1,000. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Listen,
Everything.
We can't all
on
be
those
making that
things.
Mark McLean money.
Well, that's why it's sitting in storage.
Yeah, cha-ching, cha-ching. All right, McLean. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Time right now is 9:10. Much more to get to this morning. When we come back, we're previewing a week-long event for you to go blue.
And don't forget, take us on the go. We're streaming live right now on the 13 Wham YouTube channel. We're back after this. 9:12 and in your community, it is time to break out the blue because Goodwill of the Finger Lakes is getting ready to celebrate with a week's worth of events that highlight the work they do for those who need it most right here in our community.
For more on Goodwill's Blue Week and some of the events you can take part in, we're joined now by the Director of Crisis and Referral Services, Deb Turner. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Let's get right into it. Tell us about this week-long event.
Yes, so Goodwill Week starts next week, May 5th through the 9th. We're actually kicking off the event on Monday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. With an open house. So we're opening up our doors to the public if they want to come in, just kind of get that peek behind the curtain around Goodwill, what we do, how we do some things, and understanding our impact. I think it's good for the community to understand, when they donate, when they shop, what actually happens to the goods all the way to the dollars that we bring in because of those goods. So between 10 and 2 on Monday, we are going to have our open house at our main campus location. It's 422 South Clinton, no RSVP required. We just want to welcome the public in. And then throughout the rest of that week, we're actually going to be having some events like a presidential award event. So just nominating staff members who have gone above and beyond, modeling our Goodwill values. So it's also very exciting, along with a few other special staff events. And then we're ending our Goodwill Week event with our gala. The theme is called Hope to Bloom. And if people would like to buy tickets just to come to the event, enjoy themselves, it's Friday, May 9th, and ticket sales actually close on the 30th. And you can find those event information at goodwillthefingerlakes.org.
Get those tickets now. For someone sitting at home who says, Goodwill, I've driven past a location, I've gone into a location before. What do they do beyond that? Remind our viewers of the incredible services and work you do right here in the Rochester community.
Absolutely. So Goodwill, we actually have vision services, so helping individuals who may have visual impairments or blindness adapt to how do I live my life now without vision? How do I cut vegetables? How do I safely navigate my kitchen, navigate, walking across the street? We also have, of course, my 211 Lifeline 988 program, our crisis hotline services. And we have our Goodwill, our Goodwill Learning Academy, so helping adult learners achieve their learning goals. So that is usually people who are looking to get their GED or their high school equivalency. So those are at least 3 of our wonderful, impactful programs. We're also starting to dip our toe in the water around sustainability and what that looks like for the goods that are brought in and how we make sure that those items get a second life. So whether that's a community member that, hey, I need a new blazer for a job interview, that they can come in and get that item. So it's really, we do a lot in the community, and I think just giving the public that opportunity to come in on Monday and to kind of see what that impact looks like, to talk to our staff, to just kind of get a sense of when I'm donating, when I'm shopping, what is really happening with those dollars, with those goods and items.
Because, you never know when you may find yourself in a situation where you need a service like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So whether it's someone reaching out to our 988 or 211 hotline, that's 24/7 confidential, or it's an adult learner who's trying to get back on their feet, trying to get back to their goals to better their life, better their family's life, or someone learning to live with a new barrier, a visual impairment, and how that feels to navigate in this world.
Let's talk about the gala.
Yes.
What can people expect? And you mentioned tickets, sale ends tomorrow.
Yes.
Correct?
Yep.
The 30th. Gala is on May 9th. What is it going to look like? Paint us a picture.
Yeah, so it's going to be, cocktails, some entertainment, some fun. It is, I guess, black tie. So if people want to dress up, go out. It's a great opportunity for date night. I have a toddler, so date nights are kind of hard to come by sometimes in my household. So just putting that out there for people.
Very good. Thank you so much for, first of all that you do for our community. And second of all, for coming in today. We really appreciate it. And, Dan and I have both been to the Goodwill Gala before. It is truly an excellent event, and you guys always do a great job putting it on. And, people are guaranteed to have a good time.
Absolutely. And if you want to get tickets, we'll make sure to post all of that information for you at home on our website, foxrochester.com.
When we come back, Steph will be here breaking down some of our top political headlines.
Your Political Pulse is next.
It's time for a political pulse check here on ARC Rochester. We begin with news out of Albany. Governor Hochul announcing an agreement on the 2026 state budget has been reached. Now, this follows an 8th budget extender. Funding was originally due back on April 1st, but discussions over key issues such as the discovery law held up the process. The $254 billion spending plan includes several measures the governor says will put money back in the pockets of New Yorkers and promote safety. Now, some of those measures include a $1 billion tax cut for middle and low-income New Yorkers, the state's first inflation refund checks for more than 8 million New Yorkers. Now, checks could be up to $400 per family. Next, $340 million of the budget will go toward free school lunch and breakfast for students in kindergarten through 12th grade. Another measure is an increase in the child tax credit. Eligible families could receive a $1,000 credit for children younger than 4 and $500 for children between the ages of 4 and 16. The governor also mentioned an investment of $13.5 million to help schools put a bell-to-bell cell phone ban in place. Now, its implementation, though, remains unclear at this point. The spending plan heads to lawmakers for final approval before landing on the governor's desk to be signed into law.
We worked through some really challenging issues. We refuse to be drawn into the toxic, divisive politics of the moment. And we never lost sight of the people that we were sent here to serve. And we never strayed away from the issues they cared the most about. Together, we designed a budget that will lift up all New Yorkers.
Turning now to the anticipated visit of border czar Tom Homan to Rochester. This is a live look here at the Locust Club. That's where he's expected to arrive. Now take a look. You can see that barricades are set up all across this area. Our photographer has been on scene for some time. Those barricades have been up. We have spoken to RPD that had said that they were aware of his visit as well as planned protests and decided to put a plan, an operational plan in place. So again, this is at the Locust Club, the police union, where Homan is expected at some time this morning. Now, the police union says he could be there at late morning, still unclear what time. Homan did say in a news conference yesterday his visit was sparked by a controversial traffic stop involving Rochester police last month. Border Patrol called for backup during a traffic stop on Whitney Street near Lyle Avenue. 3 people were detained, including one man from Guatemala charged with illegal re-entry. Officers can be seen on body camera video here handcuffing them. The mayor and police chief spoke out against those actions as they violated general orders and the city's sanctuary policy. Homan says he's here to show support for those officers, but his visit is being met with protests.
Officers of Rochester PD responded to a call from emergency assistance from a federal law enforcement officer. They responded, then they got disciplined. I don't think anybody can come up with one instance where an ICE agent or Border Patrol agent didn't respond to an emergency call from assistance from any law enforcement agency. Cops need to help cops, especially in an emergency situation, but they got disciplined.
So when we're talking about people being upset that Tom Homan's coming to a city like Rochester, I think that that's right, because he is definitely ensuring that families and communities continue to have to deal with this panic, chaos, and disorder that he is creating with his rhetoric and the actions that he is directing.
Another thing to point out is that Homan's visit also comes just days after the Justice Department sued the city over its sanctuary city policy. And finally this morning, today marks 100 days since President Trump took office in his second term. He's expected to celebrate at a rally in Michigan tonight. Now, in 100 days, Trump has issued hundreds of executive actions, including the dismantling of multiple government agencies. Much of that effort spearheaded by the Department of Government Efficiency. Besides layoffs, Trump's tariff policy initiated a global trade war that's still ongoing with China. The uncertainty causing the stock market to fluctuate in recent weeks. Trump has cracked down on illegal immigration, with the Department of Homeland Security touting 150,000 deportations so far. More than 200 lawsuits have been filed against the administration. Now, since day one, Trump promised change.
Nothing will stand in our way because we are Americans. The future is ours, and our golden age has just begun.
Democrats have faced questions in recent months about leadership following former Vice President Kamala Harris's loss to Trump. Harris became the party nominee for president with just over 100 days to campaign herself. Some lawmakers say the Democrats are poised to regain voters as the nation prepares for midterm elections.
I would say 100 days ago, I think it's honest to say a lot of the Democratic Party were licking our wounds, grieving, reflecting, but it was time to get off the mat and get back into the ring.
Voters are fired up to take on essentially the billionaires and Elon Musk in this country that are stealing dollars and resources and benefits from working class people, eliminating agencies, attacking programs, taking more away from the poor who need our support. And I think our message is going to continue to resonate.
And we will have more details on Tom Homan's visit to Rochester coming up on 13 WHAM News at midday. Our Rochester returns right after this.
Sticking with us at 9:28 this morning here on ARC Rochester. We want to get right to our next guest this morning because a children's book author from Western New York has taken a difficult topic on, the conversation families face when a child is diagnosed with a terminal illness.
The book, Walking Each Other Home, has a compassionate approach to the topic and looks at what families can tell children and how.
John Massalonis is on book tour and is leading the discussions on the topic. He'll be at the Pittsford Barnes & Noble this Sunday. He joins us, though, in studio first. Thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you for the invitation. I appreciate it, guys.
Absolutely. So let's start right with the book. Where did this idea come from for you?
So in many respects, it all began when my grandmother passed away. Being part Polish, we refer to our grandmothers as babcia, and she passed in the summer of 2013, and that's really when I began to look at life through a little bit of a different lens. I was very fortunate at that particular point in time already to have a relationship with Children's Hospital in Buffalo. I was the host of a popular wrestling radio show called Monday Night Mayhem, so whenever the wrestlers would come through town from the WWE and the large major wrestling companies, they would visit the kids. So I really knew at that particular point that giving back and being of service to children who were going through challenging moments was critical in terms of my life's journey. But then I was also given a testicular cancer diagnosis in the summer of 2015. And that's really when things also changed as well, too. Combined over navigating through some additional challenges in my life, I knew that a fresh start was needed. So I moved cross country, 2,500 miles from Western New York to San Diego, and it became increasingly clear that I was to create a children's hospice at some point in time in the future. But it needed for me to be able to be out in San Diego first things first and actually bring the first portion of this to life and share this story through the form of the children's book, which we're talking about together today.
Wow. Okay, so let's talk about the premise of the book then.
Yes. So it's about a brave 8-year-old boy named Zachary who's given a terminal cancer diagnosis. And in this story, there's 4 earth angels that come to him. It's clearly shown that he's to help create and build a children's hospice for terminally ill children with the help of his family and these earth angels. All of the earth angels are inspired by real life people in my life. So there's Jane, the loving grandmother, which is a nod to my grandmother. There's Dennis, the Italian restaurant owner. If you've spent time in Buffalo, or for those who are in Rochester, you're familiar with Dennis DiPaolo, the owner of Elio DiPaolo's Italian restaurant. So he's actually the inspiration for Dennis, the earth angel. And then there's Georgianne, the animal loving storyteller, and Patrick, the Reiki master. So they all travel to San Diego to help Zachary and his family raise the necessary funds for the children's hospice. But along the way, they also teach him about the different meanings of unconditional love. So for example, Jane reminds Zachary that unconditional love can look like, sound like, and feel like spending quality time with the ones that you love. Zachary and his family do get the necessary assistance that they need. The hospice gets built. Zachary knows that his mission and his purpose is complete now that the hospice is completed, so he's able to pass away peacefully. And so the whole premise of the story is that in many respects, love never dies, that it only changes form.
Really sounds like an incredible, heartwarming story. Again, taking on such a difficult topic. What has response been to the book?
I'm very fortunate that the response has been overwhelming and humbling in many respects, because there's a lot of children's authors that are out there in a lot of children's books, but especially when it comes to communicating about death and grief and loss, and those families that have children that are navigating through terminal illnesses, they really need support now more than ever before. And people have asked me, like, why are you coming to Rochester, National Book Tour? Why Rochester? You guys get it here. Local sense of community, close-knit, renowned organizations such as Golisano Children's Hospital, Rochester Regional Health, so you really understand what it means to be a lifeline for children in need who have terminal illnesses and for the families that really need the support now more than ever before.
I imagine that writing this must have been a little challenging, a little emotional for you, was it?
It was, because it's interesting. Thankfully, I have not lost a child in my life, but it was really important for me to be able to take my own grief journey and transform my pain into a passion, into a purpose in the process. It took a long time for this story to come to fruition, and it literally was like a legion of people around the world that helped me to bring this story to form and shape, including my illustrator, Roxana Barwinska, as well, too. And so I'm very humbled, very appreciative for all the support that the book has been seeing, including Tony Bettino, who's the Emmy Award-winning co-creator of Reading Rainbow, he endorsed the book. New York Times bestselling author Anita Moorjani, who's the author of the tremendous book Dying to Be Me. Her story was picked up by Dr. Wayne Dyer, who, of course, many people know, multi-time New York Times bestselling author. And so in different kinds of communities, the world of children's literature, the spiritual community, and especially just those who are navigating through their own grief journeys, I'm truly touched in many ways.
Really incredible. For someone who wants to come out to the Barnes & Noble in Pittsford Plaza tomorrow to meet you, to get their hands on the book, maybe get an autograph while they're there, what do they need to know?
So this upcoming Sunday, actually, from 11 to 1 at the Barnes & Noble in Pittsford Plaza, going to be signing copies of Walking Each Other Home, Zachary's Mission, a hospice for children. And then, of course, all children that are going to be in attendance, they get their own Walking Each Other Home bookmarks and coloring pages. So really it helps to bring the story more to life, to form and shape as well, too. And anytime that I have the opportunity to be able to share my story and to be able to connect with those who are moving through grief and loss, it really is a profound honor in many respects. And you guys do great work, as I was mentioning when we were off air. I'm from San Diego in mind of things, and having the opportunity to support children's authors across the country and around the world. Many people always ask, like, what are your favorite programs and favorite stations? You guys do a great service in helping people share their story. So it's important that I also give that proper respect to you guys as well, too, because you do a great job.
That's very kind of you to say.
You're welcome.
Yes.
We appreciate you coming in today. And if you're interested in stopping by, we'll post all of the event information for you over on foxrochester.com.
8:35 this morning, 9:35 this morning, rather. Stick around. When we come back, we're taking a look at some of the top stories that have people talking this Tuesday.
Don't forget, take us on the go wherever you are. Stream us live right now on the 13 Wham YouTube channel. We're back after this. Welcome back. It's time to take a look at some of the stories that people are talking about in today's Trending Now.
We're going to start things out with a story that sounds straight out of a horror movie. So a couple took to social media to share the frightening thing they found in their brand new home.
Yeah, according to the couple, they just moved into the house in Washington a few months ago, and they were throwing around ideas about potential renovations to their kitchen when they found something hidden in one of their cabinets.
It was a folded piece of paper, and it was tucked and well hidden in the bottom cabinet. But to the couple's surprise, the paper had a message written on it that said, "Don't look under the floor."
On the back, it also had a series of random numbers. The couple went on to say they found the note to be hilarious rather than scary, but they did get curious and tried to look the numbers up online to see if it meant anything.
Yeah, they said they were unsuccessful. Commenters on the couple's post were terrified for the couple, saying, "Get out of that house."
Others began to investigate the numbers, some saying it could be a library card number leading to a particular book, coordinates, or even a combination of some kind.
Yeah, the couple then posted on the post, or commented on the post, thanking commenters for their theories. They said, "Odds are they will one day look under the floor." Listen, the fact that that's not what they did immediately.
I would do it immediately.
Yeah.
I would look right away.
We got to do a kitchen demo.
Tear up the floors,
We
babe.
need upgrades.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What do you think's under there?
It ain't gonna be good.
See, what I would do, and maybe I will do this if we ever have to move, I would leave one of those, and then I would leave another one under the floor, and it would say, like, "Don't look in the bathtub."
Okay. Well,
under the bathtub.
See,
I would do it all over the house.
Yeah, but at that point, then I'm like, okay, I'm not running around on a wild goose chase here trying to find something scary.
What if it's something great, though? What if it's $1 million?
I mean, I don't know. That would be great.
Yeah.
What if those numbers are the combination to the safe that's under the floor?
Could be.
And you open the safe thinking you're going to find millions of dollars, and you find dead bodies. I'm just saying.
All right. That is definitely an interesting possibility.
All right, we're going to move along now. A woman who defines herself as enterprising has a unique way to afford her retirement.
She's transformed her tiny smart car into a house on wheels.
For the last 14 months, she and all of her belongings have been living in the 2006 vehicle.
Wow, she shared her unique housing in a viral YouTube video. Her abode is just 8 feet long, 8 feet 2 inches long, and 4 feet 12 inches wide. Wouldn't that make it 5 feet wide?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever, it's fine.
It would. 4 feet 12 inches? Yeah, that's 5 feet.
Listen, I just put the facts in that I'm giving.
Okay, maybe
Maybe it was a little under and they rounded up.
Okay, well then it would still be 5 feet.
5 feet.
And maybe we should fact check this. She said the idea sparked from her desire to retire at the age of 65.
She said she couldn't afford the price of a house, so instead she found a way to make her fun-sized car a mobile home.
So for sleeping, she stacks up 2 small air mattresses. What are they, like infant-size air mattresses on the passenger side of the vehicle, so she can lie fully stretched out.
She sleeps with her head towards the dashboard and can even see the stars at night through the windshield. See, that's cool.
She claims her car bed is quite comfortable despite requiring some agility to get into it. She's got to blow her bed up every night.
For all other necessities, she keeps it in 3 storage containers. This includes food, water, and clothing. She says she loves the backpacking life and doesn't prefer to have a toilet. She says going outdoors is fine for her. I don't know about the rest of everybody.
In the event of inclement weather, when she can't leave the car, she said she has a spare bin.
Everyone's wondering.
No, they're not. They're not wondering because this story sounds like a farce. I feel like we might.
I feel like I'm
like
getting punked here.
Yeah.
I would show you real photos, but...
She says she uses kitty litter when she can't get...
Scented kitty litter.
Pine scented.
She says she hopes to be in the smart car until she receives double Social Security at 7.
Wow. 70. Wow.
That's something interesting. Keep going on this prompter.
Yeah. Thanks, Ian. We appreciate you. It's, what did she call herself? Entrepreneurial?
Yeah.
Innovative? Improvise, adapt, overcome. Good for her, you know? I like the backpacking thing. I really do. I think she could get a bigger car. I think that the community could help her out and get her a bigger car. The van life thing is really popular.
A van.
That's what I'm saying. She needs a van.
Yeah. Something where she could maybe have a stand-up shower. Not have to go to the gym every day.
All right, we gotta move on. Hypothetical question is sparking a lot of debate online. The question, who would win in a fight? 100 men versus one gorilla?
So the hypothetical question has been traced back to a 2020 Reddit post. However, it was recently reposted onto Twitter by a user.
The post went viral, people weighing in on every social media platform at this point. The majority agree that even the most skilled men are no match for a gorilla.
Others think that 100 men in question could defeat the gorilla with enough dedication.
The post is going viral now with little explanation, but the original post from 2020 set the scene and offered some specific parameters for the battle.
Okay, so this really isn't a what do we think.
Well,
the gorilla
listen, wait. On the table, it has the original parameters, second page.
Uh-oh.
Do you think, in these conditions, a man could beat a gorilla?
Okay.
I almost threw these out.
Wow, that's so kind of you, Abby.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I thought I
so
was done with it already.
the men stats. Ready? Okay, 100 men versus one silverback gorilla. Your average run-of-the-mill dude who drinks at least one 30-pack weekly, preferably Bud Light.
Mark?
What? The tallest one is 6'5", the smallest is 5'8". They range in size 145 to 260. No one is trained in fighting or manual labor or overseeing manual labor. No weapons. The gorilla, he's angry. His manager told him 100 of these dudes were responsible. No, we're not going there. The fight of the gorilla can, back and forth pounding his chest. Okay, round one, the location, the gorilla exhibit. Men can only send a time at the gorilla. It ends with a knockout or death.
All right, so I'm just, hello?
I think they've cut your mic. They cut your mic.
Hello?
Can you hear?
Can you hear me
now?
now?
We can hear you.
Oh, it's dead.
No, we can hear you.
No, it's flashing.
No, I can hear you though. Somebody needs to get Abby batteries.
If you don't.
So here's the thing. It doesn't matter if it's 100 men or 1 man. Look at that gorilla. He's loving life right now. The gorilla is going to win. Whether it's 100 men at once or 1 by 1 or 10 at a time, the gorilla is going to win. Will he be tuckered out by the end? Of course. Of course that gorilla is going to be tired by the end of that. But no way he's not going to win. It's a gorilla, people. They can rip you limb to limb. No, I don't feel like rapping now. I feel like going off on this gorilla theory.
Do you want to see the video of the gorilla dancing one more time?
Yeah, let's see the gorilla splashing around in the bathtub or in that pool one more time.
Here we are.
Look at that. That gorilla's having fun.
Yes.
Picture IFB. He's enjoying life. That gorilla would kick.
That's going to be us when we leave the building in an hour.
It is. But that gorilla would open up a can of whoop so fast on those guys.
You don't stand a chance.
Not a second. Not a second.
And why would you want to? Leave him alone.
Let the gorilla be. Goodness. Stick around. When we come back, we're talking about today's warmer weather with a few this or that's.
We're back after this.
doing this or that. Welcome back. The gang is here, and because it's going to be an 80-degree day, we want to play a little this or that for a hot weather day.
Okay.
Okay.
So, couple questions here.
Yep.
We're going to see which you would choose.
Okay.
So, open windows or crank the AC?
I'm open windows
Yep.
all day until it's unbearable.
Yeah. What's unbearable for you?
I can go mid to upper 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm always windows down in the car.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter if we're on the highway, wherever we are.
We don't have to worry about the hair.
Exactly. It makes it a lot easier.
True. I want windows down at home always, and I don't want air conditioning there. Only places I want air conditioning is inside buildings and inside the vehicle.
Yeah, I'll say too, at night when you're trying to sleep, it does help. You know.
Nope.
No, not even at night?
Nope.
Steph, you said air conditioning?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a high heat tolerance because in college, none of the dorms that I stayed in, except for one, had AC.
Oh, wow.
So we were in there in the trenches until early fall. So
Sweating it out. Yep.
Yeah. Airs, windows for me, all the way.
Okay, iced coffee year-round or only when it's actually hot?
Iced coffee.
I don't
Year
enjoy. It's hot coffee all the time.
If it's made right, otherwise it's just gross. But
See,
yes.
I put some cold water in my coffee just to cool it down so I can chug it. I don't care the temperature. I really don't. As long as it's chuggable because I need it in my body.
You guys do. You get up so early. Yeah.
I would order iced coffee so often in college that when I went to the Dunkin' that I usually went to and I ordered a hot
They just
one,
knew your order.
she was like, hot, different today.
Do you have a set Dunkin' order that you get? I feel like.
Well, now I just get matcha.
Okay.
Almond milk, extra pump of vanilla.
Just matcha.
It's
Wow, very good.
First sunburn of the year, a badge of honor or a rookie mistake?
Rookie mistake.
Yup.
Come on now. What?
Did it already happen?
No opinion.
No
you burn
opinion.
easily?
Not easily, but I mean, I'm outside all the time.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
just- I mean, I live outside. As soon as we get to an acceptable level of temperature outside, I live outside.
And you know those old lady beach floppy hats that are big and out? Mark wears those.
Okay, wait, can we clarify? When we talk about sunburn, are we talking like serious sunburn, like it's peeling?
Yeah, or
okay.
like roasted.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, you got a little color.
Yeah. Like, because my shoulders turn red really easily, but I don't consider that sunburn because it'll turn to tan in like
No, that's still
couple
sunburn.
hours. Well, okay, that's not what I'm considering. It
Oh.
doesn't blister, it doesn't peel. I'm just telling you my rules.
I flinched. I thought she was going to hit me.
There were threats earlier.
There sure
Hey now.
were.
Hey now.
Shorts and April, acceptable or unhinged?
Shorts?
Shorts in April.
Can I get a translation on that? Shorts in April? Oh, yeah. Why not?
Yeah,
this is a
love
skort.
No, I hate shorts.
That's a skort.
Yeah.
That's
Never
a skort.
shorts.
Never shorts?
No.
Eat outside, delightful or delusional?
Outside.
Love outside.
Yeah.
Outside.
Yeah.
Yes. Al fresco. Hot car, perfect summer feeling or worst feeling in the world?
I'm gonna
Worse.
roast in
Okay,
there.
are you, so you're sitting down and your cheek is catching the hot
Where are your
metal
pants?
like
You wear shorts.
I'm just
Wow.
wondering, because the inside of that car can get like 150.
It can.
I mean,
Is there one we should skip to? Because we're out of time. Park picnic or patio restaurant?
Park.
Patio restaurant.
Oh, patio restaurant. And then the next patio restaurant.
take the
And then
park.
the next patio
We're going
restaurant.
patio restaurant hopping.
Both are good.
Both are good.
Yeah.
Hey, that does it for us here on Arc Rochester. Oh, final thoughts. Oh,
still got more.
Oh, well, we're going to keep going here. We've got more of these. Stick around. We're back after this. I thought the show was over. goodness. It's time for our final thoughts. How's everybody feeling this?
Hanging in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
thoughts.
what. At the beginning of every Tuesday, we say, never let a Tuesday win. I'm gonna say something right now that I haven't said in a while.
It
this
won?
Tuesday, no, never. I won't let it. But this Tuesday, put up a fight.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like we've had Tuesdays that have gone worse.
Yeah, no, but emotionally, I have been grumpy.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know why I can't
Threatened
kick
to
it.
hurt me.
I tried to scare it out of you when I got here.
You know what? That might have been what it was. That put me in a very bad mood immediately.
I'm sorry.
I don't care. I mean, it's fine.
It's my job to send employees home
He
crying.
tried to scare. He did scare me when I was leaving the studio, and I screamed some pretty choice words at Mark McLean in the newsroom. And then he came over to try to maybe apologize, and I told him to get the out of here.
Yes.
Because I was not taking that apology.
Yeah.
But we're all friends again in the
We
end.
are.
We're friends.
That's really what
We're
matters.
Hey, that does it for us here on Arc Rochester. Make sure to wake up with us again tomorrow morning starting at 4:57. Where are we then?
Hey, we're on 13 Wham ABC. Join Steph and Mark there later today for 13 Wham News at midday.
Bye.